let's start with Josh Allen. Since week one, Josh Allen is at an 85.2% adjusted completion percentage. That is first in the National Football League. He's had 812 passing yards, 10 total touchdowns, first in the National Football League, a 125.8 passer rating, first in the National Football League. And since week one, the Buffalo Bills have outscored their opponents 123-33. In week four, Josh Allen had more touchdowns, 5, than incompletions, 4. He had a perfect passer rating. He threw for 320 yards. He had 17 more yards on the ground, 4 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. In his career versus the Miami Dolphins, Josh Allen is 10-2 with 3,947 total yards, 39 total touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and a 109.2 passer rating. Third game yesterday in his career for Josh Allen with 4 touchdown passes and 1 rushing touchdown. He is the third player in NFL history to do this 3 times, joining Drew Brees, who's done it 4 times, and Aaron Rodgers, who's done it 3 times. Josh Allen is going to absolutely own that record by a wide margin by the time his career is over. Josh Allen is the second player in NFL history to have at least 300 passing yards, 4 passing touchdowns, a perfect passer rating in a game, joining Aaron Rodgers, the only other quarterback in the history of the National Football League who's ever done this. He did it in week 7 of 2019. Madden curse be damned. He has been the best player in the NFL since week 2. He is the MVP frontrunner right now, and a lot of national pundits are looking like total idiots right now for hopping off the Josh Allen bandwagon after week 1.
Yeah, they are. And obviously, like, what was it? He had fewer incompletions than touchdown passes. So it's like, that's pretty incredible. I mean, look, since week 1, he has really been, and we said this going into the Vegas game, he's been deliberate. The play calling has been deliberate. So I give a lot of credit to Ken Dorsey as well. But Josh Allen is really taking what the defense is giving him. But the thing is that we've seen him do this in the past. It's not dink and dunk, right? Because like there are plays where he is going like either off script or going down the field. We saw it last week to Gabe Davis. We saw it again this week where he kind of like, I think it might have been Charles that mentioned that play that where he kind of floated it over to James Cook, and that ends up being like a 40-yard play. So like there's big chunk plays out there, still staying kind of within yourself. And like we said, and like I said in the pregame, using your legs is kind of like the X factor as opposed to kind of forcing the ball, doing that as well. Like, yeah, he only had 4 carries for 17 yards in this game, so my hot take didn't come true. But one of those carries was that incredible, like, design touchdown run to draw up the right side. And to me, that was like totally in control. Obviously, offensive line helping him out a ton this year, and a lot of people are making those comments in the comment section as well. But I think really week 1, and I can't remember who said this in the comment section. It might have been Pops or someone else said that loss could have been the best thing that happened for Josh Allen and for this team this year. Get it out of the way week 1 and really kind of self-reflect and realize like the best version of myself for this team is when I'm playing within myself and really being calculated with when I take my chances down the field. And so what can you say? I mean, the guy's playing like an absolute stud.
Speaking of playing like an absolute stud, Stefon Diggs, 6 catches, 120 yards, 3 touchdowns on the season, 31 catches, 399 yards, 4 touchdowns. That's almost 100 yards per game. That means he's on pace for almost 1,700 receiving yards. And I'll tell you what, like, didn't look miserable at all on the sidelines. Didn't look like he wanted to be traded. A humongous day from Stefon Diggs, and my heart dropped on that second touchdown. I thought he was going to get called for OPI. Thank goodness he was not. And that touchdown.
Well, and when you
but the longest
when you watch the replay, it wasn't even close.
It wasn't even close. I think that was the longest I've ever gone between seeing the Buffalo Bills score a touchdown and showing like joy and celebrating. I think that might be a record. I waited the entire time for that signal that it was not a penalty on the Bills.
I know. And the announcer, like Nance, was just like, didn't even really mention the flag until like well after the celebration. Like it was kind of odd, right? The way that whole thing played out. But then you kind of heard the crowd cheer and Romo, like Romo's whatever you want to say about Roma, but he's always pretty good
He's
about knowing
fun.
like
He's fun.
what the penalty is going to be, and like
Yeah.
yeah, it was. And then when you watch the replay and you see it wasn't even close to being OPI, but just like the optics of kind of how you saw Stefon Diggs
Mhm.
make the catch made you feel like it was, because you didn't really see what was happening at the top of the route. And then
Yeah.
seeing just like how he just put that dude in a blender was incredible.
Tony Romo is just like his like youth, like his childlike exuberance during a game. Like some people are turned off by that, but I'll take that over like Chris Collinsworth any day of the week, right? Like when the Gabe Davis scored the touch, it's like big game day Gabe. Like I genuinely enjoy that, and it's not just because he's always hyping up our team. It's genuinely just it's fun to listen to. It's a lot easier to listen to, in my opinion, than some of the other announcers out there, but I absolutely love the pettiness of Josh Allen and Stefon Diggs in this football
Oh,
game too. You saw, oh, first of all, Stefon Diggs owes that poor man in the front row at least $35 because those beers are $17 each, and he stone cold Steve Austin two of those things, and they looked pretty darn full. And the Buffalo Bills openly mocking the Miami Dolphins. So the Miami Dolphins were underdogs in this football game, and I just learned this today. I had no idea why, but they were wearing the shirts with thinking emojis on the team airplane when they were coming to Buffalo. And it's because they were like, like they were questioning why they were underdogs in this football game. And Josh Allen and Stefon Diggs showed them exactly why they were underdogs in this football game. And Josh Allen might be the most online quarterback of all time. Like anything bad said about him, I feel like he sees it. He's probably got like 100 burners out there on Twitter. So just to see that level of petty was it's fun. When you're winning, that's fun.
it is fun, and I wasn't sure what he was doing. Like when he scored on that rushing TD, I was like what is this? What's that? What was that celebration? I thought he was just
Mhm.
kind of like, and then I realized after the fact what it was. But man, like, um, not only that, but how he handled like the questioning, like afterwards about like, what do you say to like the people that like, and he's just like, I'm not gonna like,
Got
just
nothing to
like
say.
got nothing to say. Like it's just like it's so perfect because it's like
Yeah.
he just like blend like he whatever he does, he keeps it on the field, and then, like, when he's
Mhm.
doing his press conferences and, like, answering questions, like, he's just, like he doesn't give people anything, right?
Yeah.
He just does it on the field, and that's the thing that I think is awesome.
Yeah, Josh Allen's the next John Elway comes in and says Stephen A. Smith should be embarrassed. Total clown. Yes. Today, Dan Orlovsky is talking about how Josh Allen should be the head of the MVP conversation right now, currently in the National Football League. And Stephen A. Smith's response was, "Well, what about Brock Purdy?" That was his rebuke to Dan Orlovsky. The look on Dan Orlovsky's face was absolutely
It was
hilarious.
great. It was gold, man.